All right, so the Drake sales are in, and we've talked about how, you know, Travis Scott has a cheat code when it comes to sales because of his whole merch bundle scheme or strategy, let's say, where he really only streamed like 250K, but then got another 200 or whatever it was with the merch bundles. And there was an even bigger cheat code that a lot of people didn't talk about, how the vinyls were technically only $5, which a lot of people got the code to on Twitter, including myself. I got the Utopia vinyl. So like for $5, you can like, I'll buy a vinyl from like Lil Xan for $5. Not actually, but you get the point. So like, is it really fair to compare Drake's album sales that a lot of people are saying like he sold less, technically speaking, than Travis Scott for his album? And you know, Drake is coveted as the top rapper of like the past 2 decades because of his sales that we're gonna go over in a second. And by the way, can we just marvel at the fact that this Yeat, we talked about on stream at like live when we were listening to the song, we're like, damn. So cause your monthly listeners go up when you're featuring on another person's project, or yeah. And Yeat, I think, had like 11 million monthly listeners before he was on Drake's album. And like within 2 days, he's already at 15 mil. So I think by the end of the week, he might even be at like 20. So that's just something interesting to take a look at for, damn, he really went mainstream. Not even got the Drake feature, was on Drake's album. I feel like that's a cosign and a half. 15 cosigns in one. So anyway, as we were saying, so Drake's album is, I think, projected to sell 450K or something like that, which again is technically less than whatever Travis Scott did first week. Right here, 400 to 450. Utopia will outsell it. Are you shocked? No, I'm not shocked, because I actually, you know what? I've come around on this subject. We've talked about it before, where before I kind of respected when an artist was doing these numbers when it comes to streams, because that's like the actual music that you're selling or like how big of a reach you have. And so of course Drake is going to destroy every single person in that, because he is the top stream artist in the world. I believe definitely top rapper. Okay. And so, but Travis Scott, on the other hand, among other rappers who have good merch bundle type like campaigns, let's say, that's also kind of that's an even bigger accomplishment, because streaming you can kind of like manufacture in a way, just get on the good playlist, get a lot of good features. You might not even recoup. You could spend $100 million on your marketing and A&R, like getting the features of the big producers on the project, and sell, you know, and get really good sales, like 100, 200K. However, to actually get someone to buy your vinyl, I was joking about that Lil Xan thing before, but to get someone to actually buy merch, like the hoodies, whatever, that's an even bigger feat, because there are a lot of artists who do have, I'm sure they would, if they could, sell merch at the same rate as Travis Scott and not even care about the streams at all. Because think about how much money you make, especially if you're drop shipping out of China. You get a hoodie manufactured for like $2. Let's say if it's even $10. Those boxes were $100 or something like that. Maybe 130, maybe less. I don't know. But just think about the profit. And if you're selling 200,000 of those, and you're even making $50 profit each way, let's say, what even is that? It's like that's millions, bro. I'm not even gonna do the numbers. You get the point. So I respect that. But when people say, I feel like it gets a bad rap, or like people are misinterpreting it. So is Travis Scott technically the biggest artist in the world now, or the biggest? I think Taylor Swift technically sells more than them, but is he the biggest rapper just because he's selling more from the merch bundles than Drake? I don't think so. He might be a bigger brand, at least when it comes to merchandise, maybe at selling. Like, I feel like the marketing and the rollout is way bigger for Travis Scott too. Like the amount of production and whatnot, and content and music videos and just everything. Like, is it like, you know how Travis Scott is, like every time there's an album, it's almost like Cardi, where he creates a world, whereas Drake, he's been dropping left and right, you know, certified lover boy, certified boy lover, He dropped a collab tape with 21 Savage. Like, there's no really breaks between his projects. So like, he's just keeping it moving, and still selling 400 to 450K on this project. Let's see what some people are saying about Travis Scott. Here we go. Hip Hop All Day. Shout out them. Half of Utopia's sale numbers came from bundles and vinyls, though. Impressive number. I think it's both impressive. It's impressive for both of these people. It shouldn't be that close to Utopia based on music quality, but it's Drake, so of course it is. I still like the Drake project. I don't know what's wrong with people. Like, just because Drake is the biggest artist, or one of them, he's gonna get the most hate. And I don't know what people are expecting out of him, to be honest. I feel like he gives everybody a little taste of, he got some old head music, he's got some R&B type shit, he's got some, he actually brought kind of mainstream, or rage music mainstream with that Yachty song, and then also Yeat, and then Daylight, and the song before that on the project. So he kind of had some more undergroundy type sounds on there. He had some classic Drake on there. So he even had a plug beat from Cardi, not actual Cardi, but like old Cardi type music, or like Young Bands, or like Rich the Kid, whatever. So like he did a whole bunch of shit on this project. Like, objectively speaking, it was one of the better projects of this year. And you can say, I understand when people say it might not be Drake's best project compared to his previous, but like, again, objectively, just how catchy it is. I don't know what people are expecting out of Drake at this point. Like, he's a billionaire. There's probably no motivation to actually make music anymore, especially with how much money streams get. Like, he could probably get a payout of way more doing something else with how famous he is, as we were talking about with the merch bundles. Let's see. I guess it's doing less than other projects he's had recently, or within like, I remember Views hit 1 million its first week, which is ridiculous. That's like Lil Wayne or Eminem numbers, or Taylor Swift. But I guess 450K. This actually had a good promo run. Her Loss didn't, and that still sold well, although it did have 21 Savage on there. Honestly, never mind. 200, that was a house album, so like, of course it was gonna sell less, but still, to sell 200K in a genre that you don't even make, ridiculous. Let's see, Certified Boy Lover, that was a mid-ass album, I'm not gonna lie. Dark Lane Demo Tapes has some hits on there. I do feel like Drake, though, the last 5 years, it's kind of, I don't know, before he would hit every time, now it's like hit or miss on each of these projects, but I feel like also he's trying to experiment more. Again, I don't know, I feel like he said that this project, or Yachty said, or somebody said that this was going to be like old Drake, but I feel like it actually was more newer sounds. It had some old Take Care vibes on there. It definitely sounded like one of the songs was views oriented. It's like the type of beat you're on, or even the flows, but it definitely sounded newer, especially with even getting like Yeat and Yachty. He didn't need to do that. He didn't have any old heads on there other than like J. Cole. He had Tizo Touchdown, which is like one of the more, I know he's like 30 years old or something, but that sounds like more kid music to me. So, man, I don't understand the Drake hate. He's so good. I'm not even trying to dick ride here. He's just, see, declining quality. See, I can't argue with that, because nothing was the same. Still, he used to craft more projects where it tied into like an actual cohesive theme. However, now it's more playlisty after More Life. Like, you don't feel the same sort of emotions. But again, when you get richer, the motivation is gone, or there's just less passion in it because you don't gotta do it anymore, essentially. And also, he's been in the game for so long. He's like 34. At some point, he might even become like more out of touch. I'm not saying he is, because he still makes bangers. Like, again, I don't understand how people be saying this. It's bad. It doesn't make sense to me. But also, the decline in sales, I also feel like it's because the streaming era. Like, I feel like it was easier when people were buying copies or buying iTunes. We know that as a fact. And so we're seeing a lot of rappers, their sales starting to go down. I just think it's less easy to, or like maybe the Billboard throughout the last, like before I even started on YouTube, just started to like increase the amount of streams you need per album, or maybe radio doesn't count as much, or I don't know. There's something about it, but We just got to compare it to other artists streams wise, and Drake is still destroying everybody. So anyway, is Travis Scott the biggest rapper after selling more than Drake potentially? No, he's not. If Drake did Drake sell merch? I feel like he didn't even sell any merch. I feel like he could, maybe partnering with Nike. Travis Scott does that too, but I guess not on the Utopia merch. But that would be a game changer. if he had like some custom shoes or something, people would buy that easily. I don't know if that would resell as much as Travis Scott, but Travis Scott's just like the biggest brand. He's almost like a Kanye in a way, where people want to wear what he's wearing, although it's a little bit more streetwear as opposed to in collabs, as opposed to Kanye just next level, like making his own designs type shit. So yeah, all goats though. We can't say anything bad about anybody here.